So there's a few things that can cause you some difficulty. One of them is to be inside a folder and not seeing the master or the warning colors. When you're down in a folder, you'll see this little symbol that will take you out of the folder so you can go up one level. That's one thing to keep in mind. Another one is that when you're looking at these, do not stretch them out any. They last 5 seconds and they need to stay 5 seconds long. Students will sometimes see something like this where they zoomed out, grabbing under the scroll bar to do that, and they will make these last longer, and then you have a very long, slow video. Same thing if you're really zoomed in, you're not changing the length of time, it's just our magnification. You also want to make sure that you are keeping your view right here to fit. It's okay to check something by going to 100%, and this is pixel for pixel exactly what the video would look like. But it can really cause confusion if you leave it on that. Change it to fit, so as you make this bigger or smaller and adjust your workspace, it adjusts with you. When you are doing your keyframing and you have an image open, if you double click on it, we're actually looking at a source just showing us what the picture looks like. It has its own timeline because it does this for video as well. Just go back to the effect controls. If you do close a panel by accident, you can get it back by simply window workspace and reset your workspace. You'll notice there is a keyboard shortcut, Alt-Shift-0. It can be a little awkward. They've also added this little button right here, and whenever you run into problems like that, just reset it and it should go back and give you that effect controls again. Now when we are doing our keyframing and we're jumping back and forth, use the keys that are above the arrow keys called home and end. It's not the same as dragging that to the end. It's actually showing you the first frame of the next picture. So it really helps if you use the end key and the home key. You can see that I'm actually looking at my position and scale. Those are hidden at first. You have to expand motion in order to get to them. When their numbers are blue, you click on them and you can drag. Click and drag on the number and you can then get it to just the right size. There is also a slider that's underneath there, but I really don't like you to use it very much because it's really easy to go over 100%. If this goes past 100, even 100.1, there will be a deduction because we're starting to lose quality. You can click on a blue number and type it in. 100 is going to be the maximum amount. I'm going to Control Z undo so it goes back to where it was. And that's another thing I wanted to point out. When you make a mistake and you accidentally start to move something, don't try and put it back. I like to make a big mistake and let the computer Control Z undo it. Now this warning color is the only thing you're allowed to make longer. If you have more categories, then you might need that warning color to last a bit longer. You can see that these are the captions. We're keeping those for the next step. And you can move those out of the way if you need to. We're actually going to be duplicating those and putting one above each of our pictures. So that is the basics here. Just keep in mind when you're doing your keyframing, there's only keyframes at the beginning and at the end. There shouldn't be any in the middle. And no time can the pictures go over